Right, so we've spent the last week or so covering a very crazy incident and very crazy occurrence that took place in independent wrestling. As what was first believed to be an incident that saw an indie wrestler getting stabbed by a fan at a show has now ended up being confirmed as totally fake, and the wrestlers made up a stabbing story, and as a result they've got themselves, the company they work for, the venue they were at, and the entirety of indie wrestling in a lot of trouble. Let me just recap the events for you now. A video was posted showing a fight that broke out between Mads Cruel Kruger and a fan at a Ruthless Pro Wrestling show at the Berwyn Eagles Club back in late March. This video at the time only showed the scuffle as it had already started, didn't show anything that was happening beforehand, but accounts from Lou Nixon and Mickey Knuckles, who were wrestlers working the show, claims that the fan pulled a knife on Cruel and stabbed him in the middle of all the commotion, leading to the locker room to come out and eject him. There then was also an account from someone in attendance that there was this big scuffle that went down, but there was no stabbing incident as it was said, but at that time it was just all he said, she said, and it looked to be just the story of the moment, the story of the week, and we'll all move on a week later. Until this incident would actually end up having widespread repercussions on all of independent wrestling, as a result of this incident, GCW, or Game Changer Wrestling, probably the leading indie wrestling company, had to cancel one of their upcoming shows at the Berwyn Eagles Club, the same venue where that incident took place, with GCW booker Brett Lauderdale claiming that this was in relation to the recent Ruthless Pro Wrestling incident, that they were not able to run this venue and that the stabbing was faked. He called it a fake stabbing. And now there were even more answers and questions that needed to be raised, as a historic independent wrestling venue in the Berwyn Eagles Club was now no longer running wrestling shows, apparently because of a fake stabbing, but still, it's all he said, she said, until the other video angle was discovered, in which it shows that the entire thing was provoked by Cruel throwing the first punches at the fan, which did not meet the version of events that was spread by the roster of RPW. And in this video there was no knife or no stabbing that could be seen at all. It didn't seem like any of this had happened. And in just the last 48 hours, even more information has came out regarding this case, as it has been confirmed that indeed no stabbing took place, and this entire incident was totally faked, and they all lied about a stabbing happening. It was none other than the Berwyn Police Department themselves that have confirmed that no stabbing occurred, which just puts the entire case to bed. The police department did an investigation and found it. Let's talk more about this in detail. Credit to Steve C of tpww.net and to Post Wrestling's John Pollock for the report. As John Pollock did indeed report that the Berwyn Police Department recently confirmed that no stabbing occurred at Ruthless Pro Wrestling's event last month in Berwyn. As Pollock reported that Post Wrestling had requested records of the investigation into the incident after filing a Freedom of Information request, and was given an instant report by the BPD. And just so you all know that I was doing my due diligence as well, I also put in a Freedom of Information request, and they got back to me with a document here, which we don't need to go through as it's just easier in this article form, as it was said that the investigation begun after the detective was alerted by the Cultaholic article originally reporting it all, which kind of suggests to me that no police call was ever made at that time, and no police report was filed after the stabbing was made, by the promoter themselves or by Cruel, who allegedly got stabbed, which is interesting. They wouldn't want to file a report for something like that, as the detective had contacted a person referred to as the manager of Ruthless Pro Wrestling. He said that the fan was causing problems all night, he was intoxicated, etc, etc. As the manager stated in the police report that the fan ended up attacking his wrestler and tackled him to the ground. The fan continued to punch the wrestler several times, and then the rest of the wrestlers came in to help. We all saw the video, but as it says here, the manager also states that Redacted, in reference to Cruel, was not stabbed. You see that? You see that right here? Not stabbed. Keywords, not stabbed. The manager of RPW is the one that has stated that in cooperation with the police department. To bed. The entire case to bed. Night night. And the Berwyn Police Department have officially closed the case and stated that there was no stabbing and that the wrestler, obviously Cruel, doesn't want to pursue any criminal complaints against him. And apparently Cruel was also himself contacted at the airport while traveling home, and he provided his own account of the incident to the detective, I guess with no stabbing incident as part of the version of events if he didn't wish to pursue a criminal complaint over it. But yeah, authorities have confirmed there was no stabbing, there was no criminal case to pursue or look into, and it just makes you wonder why the hell they all decided to say that there was a stabbing when there wasn't. Did they think it made them sound cooler and made them sound all tough that they filmed the stabbing and were back to work in Indies the next day? That's just lame as fuck, bro. Come on. And it has been confirmed what the status of Berwyn Eagles Club actually is right now, as all anyone knew is that they weren't able to run wrestling shows as a result of all of this. However, apparently because of it, they actually lost their license. So it's left them with a lot of cancellations. A lot of people were thinking it was because of the venue that they didn't want to work with wrestling after this, but no, they lost their license, which is just the worst case scenario. As there is a GoFundMe here set up that I am on, and I will be linking down below and leaving a donation myself, as the funds raised through this campaign will help Chuck, who is the person who runs the venue, cover essential operating costs and provide the support needed as he explores new business ideas to keep the club alive. So listen, this is the way to help out Berwyn Eagles and their owners and make sure that this club survives and wrestling can hopefully return back to it. As according to this tweet here, it says, so from what I'm hearing, the owner of Berwyn Eagles Club has requested a meeting with the city next week to request reinstatement of their license. I hope they're able to get that meeting, and I hope it goes very well for them. Like I said, this will be linked down below. I can already see that Elena Black has left a donation, a fellow Chicagoan of the indie wrestling scene, which you love to see. And yeah, make sure you leave a cheeky donation yourself to help out the Berwyn Eagles Club. And also, as a result of this entire incident, Cruel, who was meant to be working the MDK Fight Club show as part of the GCW collective, this Thursday, is no longer working it. He's been pulled from the booking and replaced with Dr. Redacted, which obviously makes sense. Why would GCW want to work with a guy who has literally fucked them over by lying? But yeah, now we have some other business to attend to, because I was scrolling YouTube a couple of days ago when I saw this appear on my feed. Top 10 Wrestling is an Idiot by Big Lou Nixon, who you might recognize as the wrestler who shared the original story about the stabbing. So this is going to be interesting, especially knowing what we all know now. Oh boy, I am excited to respond to this. It's funny because in my first video about the situation, where there was nothing really confirmed about it being fake, it was just a whole situation about it might have happened, he was in the comments saying he was a big fan, and I took notice to it and even hearted the comment. Thanks, Lou. Oh, how times change. So yeah, let's go through this video here. I'm not going to watch the entire thing. It's an hour long. He just totally yaps. It's very boring, and the quality is not good whatsoever. And obviously a lot of the stuff he says is obviously outdated and confirmed to be completely false by now with everything we know in the last 24 to 48 hours, so there's no point even entertaining a lot of what he's going to say. But let's give this a watch, shall we?
It's mad that this has come up. I literally just made a video on this because my name was mentioned on Twitter. Why the fuck would we fake a stabbing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if Cruel says he got stabbed, and we can see the mark, and the nurses seen him that fucking had to patch him up after his brawl. It's like, man, I don't know what the fuck. He was impaled with something. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything fall from the sky during this brawl.
So yeah, right out the gate, I'm just dying of laughter because we just know now what he said all is false. Like, this is a very big trend throughout the entire video. He just says these outright statements that we just know now are wrong. So really great entertainment.
Putting that title on my CV. By the way, this guy, you could tag my channel, couldn't he? Yeah. Sharon's caring. What about the community YouTube spirit, bro?
Nah.
But also, has you seen? Sorry for keep pausing it. Have you seen the tweet? Have you seen the tweet? It's actually a close source has said the lease has just ran out on the building and they're not renewing it. And it's come at this time and might be using it as a cover-up.
Oh, so now you're claiming the building lost its lease? No, we know they lost their license because of this incident. A cover-up. Spare me the cope.
As I've said, well, I think the perfect way to see and disprove all the bollocks. Ruthless need to put out the match between Schlack and Cruel. And we'll clearly see at the end of the match if or if not Cruel has a lower abdomen wound.
It already started.
Also, Cruel had to pull out of shows the next day, didn't he? I think. Why? Why would that be?
Cool, can't wait to see the video. I can't wait to see the wound that, according to the investigation, doesn't exist. And now, thanks to Lou here, we know also apparently that Cruel pulled out of a show over this incident and fake stabbing to sell it further, only going to show how far this lie was being taken. Sell that angle, brother.
Again, it's a massive shame. It's a shame, like, that the event's getting shut down. But at the end of the day, like, you see all this crazy stuff on Twitter, right? People getting blamed, this, that, and the other. Who's to blame? At the end of the day, none of this would have happened if that fan didn't step out of line. He was you know when you put dominoes? Say every like incident or every person getting blamed as a domino. Where's the first domino is the one you can't question. And the first domino is that fan. That fan stepping out of line, thinking he's the big boy. And that's it. Do you know what I mean? So you want to find the cause and the fucking cause and effect and the root of the problem. It's that fan.
I mean, sure, that's one way to look at it, but end of the day, this was a scuffle no worse than others I've seen before. It was so easy to move past this, but you all chose to make up a fake stabbing story and blow the story up for all the masses to see. Stabbing that took place at another...
Again, the whole thing, like this fake stabbing narrative has blew up on the internet. I love Brett Lauderdale, boss man, GCW, you know what I mean? I want to be back soon. But like the only way, there's one thing that would, again, squash all this. It's Cruel, even though, like, I assume he would have done it by now. Cruel said he was fine, didn't he? He didn't say I didn't get stabbed. He said he was fine.
You're right, Cruel is the one person who can put this all to bed. And he did. He cooperated with the detective, and he definitely put this all to bed. And you gotta love him for that. And hey, you gotta love Big Lou Nixon here begging it for a GCW booking in this clip. Bloody hell.
Boy, do you know what I mean? We went backstage after. Cruel had his stomach patched up, almost like as if he had a stab wound. Cruel was like, the guy stabbed us in the brawl. I was like, holy shit, no way.
So now it's almost like it was a stab wound. Not just an outright stab wound, it's almost like one. Got it. Wow, you lost confidence in that quickly.
So, you can see, I know for a fact what's going to be said here, but from my point of view, a guy who has his SIA license to, like, work security in clubs, and obviously, like, instigating and fearing for your life, when you feel like you're in danger, you're allowed to defend yourself. If somebody... Oh, we're back. You were crashing for me. I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm here. If somebody comes up to you like this and points in your face and starts pushing, you can see there, he was the first to be a threat to life. You know what I mean? He went for little Will Carroll.
Lou, this is so funny because in your statement to Cultaholic, you just said the fan got in Cruel's face, and before you knew it, out of nowhere, he was tackling him through a table. You very much failed to mention anything in that tweet about Cruel throwing the first punches, sucker punches no less. And you also don't mention it here. I don't know why you're choosing to leave out this key information, or if you think that we don't have eyes, or you don't have eyes yourself. And you should lose your SIA license. It's no wonder bouncers are all pricks when they think like this.
Where? No, you can't start the video there. You can't rewind it. Get him fucking getting hands in the face. Get him fucking argy-bargy. There was a lot happened before this point. There was a lot happened before this. This guy's a fucking knobhead. I'm gonna unsubscribe to his channel, me.
Come on. Ooh, shiver me timbers.
How have you guys noticed he pulled out a knife when he has both?
No one knew until after. You absolute wet wipe. I didn't think he was one of these. Oh, God, I'm so disappointed. Oh, how the fuck was that unprovoked? Exactly. This, you can tell. Top 10 wrestling. You can tell the guy who runs this YouTube channel has never, ever gotten a confrontation in his life.
First of all, you don't know me, but let me allow you to get to know me. I am not so much of a coward that I look at a guy who has one beer in his hand and is just pointing at someone else no less, and is looking away from me as a threat. I don't look at as a person like that as a threat because I'm not a fucking bitch.
It's like a lot of idiots who are opinionated on the internet. Exactly, pretty much like Top 10 wrestling. He's an opinionated idiot on the internet. Like every video that he does is negative and all about the downfall of TNA and why this is on the down and why that's on the down. It's Top 10 wrestling. He does nothing positive. Nothing positive. Every single video has a downward arrow like in the thumbnail. I know it's to make you click, but he's that's bang on. He's a parasitic grifter and he doesn't care about wrestling and he cares about his views and his likes. I wonder if he even goes to wrestling shows. I wonder if he even leaves his bedroom in his mother's house.
Damn, bro, how fast they switch up. I work on this channel full time, I've lived away from home since I was 18, and I went to a fun wrestling show just yesterday, and hey, last I checked, nobody faked a stabbing on it.
I used to watch Top 10 Wrestling too, and this will be the last video I watch. I'm gonna unsubscribe to him live on the channel after this video, just so you can see. Gringo logo's class. You can move for a big guy.
Whatever ring you're gonna use or whatever rig you're gonna use. And on top of that, a lot of places just don't really understand wrestling nor want wrestling at their venue. They might just prefer to have wholesome bingo nights rather than these violent wrestling shows, which is understandable. But
Boom.
What I'm trying to demonstrate once again is it's hard to...
Why is he talking about wrestling like that? Why is he talking about wrestling like that? This guy is not a fan. He 100% wants his clicks and his views. All his videos are, and you know what? I used to quite like them, but now I realize I can't support someone who is so blind to the fact of like the bigger picture. He's seen that video and said it was Cruel's fault and there was no stabbing. Like, fucking hell, man. I think I'm the only person who's like actually doing good reporting on this, and I'm just a fucking nobody who half these hillbillies don't even like anyway. But like, at least I'm honest, and at least I say how it is, and at least I take accountability, and at least I'm real, and at least I don't tell lies.
Well, Lou, if you listened to a single thing I said rather than cried your eyes out about unsubscribing from me, then you'd know I was talking about this from the POV of someone booking a show. It's really not hard to understand, but I get it. Your brain is 50% oxygen and 50% light tube shards. God, I just love how quickly things just age so poorly. I just love it.
Like that because you're ruining it for everyone.
You might like wrestling. Well, I don't even think you like wrestling. But wrestlers don't like you, and the real ones don't like you. My chat doesn't like you. The Noshers don't like you. I assume if the Noshers don't like you, the whole of the Brit Death wrestling community won't like you. Let's fucking absolutely get this guy. Let's get in this guy's comments on this video after. Tell the comments to come to a real channel and watch the real truth and the real shit.
Well, it sure seems like a difference was made by rallying your fans to do that. Congratulations on finally breaking past 200 views. And yeah, that's all there really is. The rest of the video is just him repeating that there was no stabbing, calling me a knobhead, and entertaining his dumbass audience. Lou, you're a dumbass as well. I know you're watching this. I know you're a fan. No, I'm not going to debate you like you challenged me here. I don't know why you'd even want to do that now anyway. I know you'd love and really could use that exposure, but it would be a total waste of time. What can I say that the police investigation hasn't? It's been proven false. Are you still going to run with it though? Yeah, just a funny video that aged just so poorly, so tremendously quick. Just hilarious. But yeah, that about concludes it all for this entire incident with the Berwyn Eagles Club and the fake stabbing incident at Ruthless Pro Wrestling and how it has led to just all the backlash in the world and just totally stained indie wrestling and took away an iconic venue. And now I've got brainless corn dog scranning deathmatch workers coming for my head because I told the truth about the situation. My bad, bro. Like I said, the GoFundMe for Berwyn Eagles will be linked down below, and I'll also link the articles that I read in this video as well, so credit to all of them. Leave a like on this video if you did enjoy, comment down below your thoughts on this entire situation, probably the last time I mention it. Just an absolutely insane scandal. Indie wrestling will just never change. It's WrestleMania week, so it's time to get excited. Time for some Mania week content coming throughout this week, so stay tuned for all of that. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.
Packing the stabbing incident. watching that video. But we have discovered one thing. Top 10 Wrestling is an absolute wet wipe. I highly recommend that you don't watch any of his videos.